Welcome back. On the night of January 19th, a local man was rushed to the emergency room of Cayuga Medical Center. The man, who had been taken to the hospital from a local grocery store just hours before, died awaiting treatment in the ER's waiting room. So why did this happen? And how can someone so alert and alive abruptly die after making it to the hospital? With an investigation now underway, many are wondering, was it the hospital's fault? And is a man now dead because of negligence? Here's Lucas Manfredi.
It's not a common situation for someone to be found dead in the emergency room. It just does not happen.
Every day, patients come through the doors of the Cayuga Medical Center's emergency room to get help. But for the Phelps family, it was inconceivable that their loved one's life could be lost while waiting for that help. It all started with a 911 call on January 19th from a local grocery store, where 52-year-old Lloyd Robert Phelps was found sweating and shivering, and his skin had turned gray. At around 6 p.m., Phelps was rushed to Cayuga Medical Center's emergency room. Approximately 2.5 hours later, he was found dead in the waiting room. Jeff DeFrancisco represents the Phelps family and recently launched his own investigation into the incident. Within just a few weeks, DeFrancisco uncovered new details surrounding what happened.
Some ex-employees of the hospital have been publicly speaking out about this based on what they have publicly stated. It sounds like this problem that occurred here in this emergency room was not an isolated incident. Some of the nurses said publicly that they did not have enough people there, and they complained to management about it. So if you look at it from that perspective, management knew that they were understaffed, and apparently they knew they were understaffed for a period of time. One nurse even said publicly that, we're going to be in a situation where someone was going to die in the waiting room, which is exactly what happened.
In addition to staffing issues, the victim's brother Alan Phelps learned that there were multiple breakdowns in hospital procedures, and that nurses told management they weren't adequately trained. Upon learning these new facts, DeFrancisco filed this lawsuit, which alleges that nursing staff failed to assess and triage Phelps before moving him into the waiting room, going against normal hospital procedure. Cayuga Medical did not respond to multiple requests for comment. Kristen Wiest is a nurse at Cayuga Medical who says inadequate staffing and training are common issues that she's seen firsthand.
Sometimes we have good days that are run smoothly, and then sometimes it can be very hectic. Sometimes we have no rooms, and our techs, or like the nurses' aides, are stretched very thin. There's only one or two for the whole emergency room sometimes.
An autopsy conducted on Phelps found no drugs or alcohol in his system, but it did find that his condition on the night of the incident could have been treated. The travel nurse, whose name has been kept anonymous, gave her account in an exclusive phone interview with independent journalist Josh Brokaw, in which she claims vitals were indeed taken with another nurse present in the room as a witness.
So basically what happens is somebody goes into the emergency room, they register, then the triage nurse then comes and takes them into the triage room, gets their vital signs, asks them a series of questions, and then it's up to the triage nurse to decide, can this person wait? Is this person high priority? Et cetera, et cetera. What kind of room? Can they go to a fast track, or do they need to be in like a real hospital bed?
Cayuga Medical, however, has surveillance footage that appears to tell a different story, showing what DeFrancisco believes to be evidence of medical negligence. After Cayuga Medical's review of the footage, the nurse was terminated.
They didn't really even give her an opportunity. They fired her the next day, just under the assumption that it was her fault.
In addition to the travel nurse's termination, Cayuga Medical Center has made changes to its hospital policies in order to prevent a similar incident from occurring. Wiest, however, feels that a simple change to hospital policies isn't enough.
The policies that have changed, I don't think, have been beneficial at all. I think that they put a chart on a piece of paper, and that's the policy change, and I don't think that it's effective. It would be unfortunate if this were to happen again, and I'm not hoping that, but the changes haven't been made for the better, in my opinion.
A legal response to the lawsuit is expected from the hospital within the next few weeks. For ICTV Reports, I'm Lucas Manfredi.